What's up, YouTube? This is 2 Raw 4 TV. Now, I'm not doing this video out of frustration because the Chicago Bulls lost to the Milwaukee Bucks. It's not because of that. The Bucks are one of the top teams in the NBA still, even though their record is a little bit underwhelming at this moment. They have a championship level roster, and I think that will be played out as the playoffs come, and we'll see who the pretenders are from the real contenders. This is more of an observation that I and other Bulls fans have had as the season has progressed. As of last night, the Bulls are now 0-13 versus the top teams in the NBA as far as record wise. We haven't beaten any of the top teams. We're beating up on the good and mediocre teams, but not the top teams. And a lot of the games were winnable. A lot of the games, the Bulls came back and lost narrowly. Some of these games, the Bulls were winning, and the other team came back and won. A lot of times, it took the brilliance of DeMar DeRozan to give the Bulls a fighting chance. Now, also, it has to be remembered that we still don't have the services of some players like Alex Caruso and Lonzo Ball, but still, there seems to be a clear separation between the Chicago Bulls and the top teams in the NBA. And some of it has to do with Billy Donovan. All right. Now, shout out to the brother Victor Lyons, where he and I often interact with each other after Bulls games. Unfortunately, it seems lately that it comes whenever the Bulls lose. Okay. Sometimes it's, celebrating some victories, but oftentimes it's when this team loses. And more, the difference is Billy Donovan. And it's similar to some of the things I see with Mike Budenholzer. For one, Billy Donovan fails to make the necessary adjustments to give the Bulls an optimal chance of winning. He seems to be more enthralled with his system rather than leaving shit be when it's working. He can have a player in the game, and this player is having a maximum impact on the game. Then inexplicably, Billy Donovan will just take this guy out. Not tired or anything like that. He'll just take him out and put in a guy he prefers, and the Bulls, instead of having that momentum, it shifts the other way because the other guy that he puts in the game is not doing the things that the other player was doing, and the Bulls, all of a sudden fall back behind by double digits. These things don't get pointed out. Um, you know, some of it is things that the team isn't doing. A lot of it falls on Billy Donovan. He gets out strategized by coaches. Um, like I said, a lot of it has to do with how he runs his rotation. A lot of it is that, and you know, he often has a rotation where the team is too small. If you saw last night, the Milwaukee Bucks were killing the Chicago Bulls as far as second and third chances, rebounding. So the Bulls, you saw we were forced to be more of an outside shooting team. That's fine when it's going in. The Bulls are not really necessarily known for being an outside shooter. I mean, they have guys that can shoot threes, of course, and they're shooting at a high clip. But the Bulls are not a prolific 3-point shooting team. But they were forced to be a prolific 3-point shooting team because of the way Billy Donovan had his rotation. It's shit like that, man. Like at the end of the day, I'm starting to really reconsider a lot of shit with him. Okay, because at the beginning of the year, the Bulls were doing great. I said, well, maybe Billy Donovan just didn't have the pieces that he needed in OKC. And he was running the Russell Westbrook system, right? But now you got to rethink and recalibrate a lot of your old, thinking patterns and talking points with Billy Donovan. Maybe part of the problem was him. All this time when we talking about Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant and not winning key series, we never bring up Billy Donovan. Maybe if Russell Westbrook had a really good coach, like a Greg Popovich, instead of Billy fucking Donovan, and before him, the guy that looks like a mass murderer, Scott Brooks. Maybe if he actually had a real coach, maybe Russell Westbrook would have benefited from that. We can't always put the blame on these players 100%. The coaches has something to do with this too. They're the leaders. They get all the fucking credit when they win. So yeah, Billy Donovan, I think it's starting to become a big problem. And maybe he's not the coach. Maybe, then again, like Giannis proves that sometimes a great player can overcome a mediocre coach and still deliver a championship. But Giannis is that top 10, potential all time player that don't come along but once a generation. DeMar DeRozan is great, but, you know, I don't know if you can overcome Billy Donovan. And also, not to be, and this comes from a little bit from some of the guys we're missing. Alex Caruso, Lonzo Ball, the shot blocking ability, and has been a solid defender. We're missing that because the Bulls' defense looks really porous at times, on the perimeter especially. So, yeah, some of this belongs to Billy Donovan. Tell me what you guys think.